vlog is being shot from Bodega Bay, California. Yep, that's right. My view is the Pacific Ocean. My view, your sound. A girl's got to sacrifice for her viewership, and that's what I'm doing. But before we go any further to get into this week's content, what I'd like to do is thank you so much. We put out a call for you to share this ministry with your family and friends, and you did just that. In less than a 24-hour period of time, our viewership went from hundreds to thousands. And I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. This ministry is about each one reaching one, and we're doing just that. So thank you. What I want to share in this week's vlog is how do you find balance and comfort and peace when your whole life feels like a raging sea. And what I mean by raging sea is that so many changes are happening in your life that it can be overwhelming. As God would have it, while I'm facing my own raging sea experience in my life, He's allowed me to be a source of inspiration and encouragement to those who are facing the same thing. But what I know for sure is that if I stay focused on God, and if I stay true to my purpose in life, which is ministry, then I can overcome any raging sea in my life. The first person I believe God brought into my life for me to encourage is a real good friend of mine. And her story is, she lives here in California and her mom lives in her home state, and they spoke to each other regularly. In those conversations, she noticed that something wasn't quite right with her mom. She noticed slurred speech. She finally decided to relocate back home in order to care for her mom. When she got there, we spoke. She was frustrated. Now let me explain. She wasn't frustrated because she had to care for her mom, because she adores her mom. Her frustration was coming from her life wasn't working out as she planned. The job that she took wasn't what she expected. She lost her independence. She no longer had privacy. So she was frustrated. About a month ago, her mom fainted while working at a church event. She was rushed to the hospital, and they sent her home saying that it was exertion and dehydration from the heat. About a week later, she fainted again. And so they decided to do tests, and they found out that she was having mini strokes. So you can see how she was frustrated, thinking that her life wasn't going according to plans, but it was according to God's perfect plan. So if you allow the storms in your life, the raging seas in your life, to calm just a little, so that you can clearly see what God's plan is, then you too can survive the raging seas in your life. Metaphorically speaking, of course, when I ask the question, how can you find peace and calm in your life when all around you seems like a raging sea? I'd like to share a Bible story with you that will hopefully illustrate that point. There's a big storm. The disciples and Jesus are in a boat. The disciples look over and they see Jesus sleeping. I can see them looking at one another and saying, "What's up with this?" So they call out to Jesus, "Jesus, wake up! Don't you care that we drown in this storm?" Jesus calmly stands up, and I can see him looking at them and thinking, "Don't you know who I am and whose I am?" He calmly stretches out his hand, and he says, "Peace, be still." Oftentimes when we have that raging sea experience in our life, all we need to do is stop and call on Jesus so that he can say to us, "Peace, be still." I hope we've had a heart connection. From my heart to your heart. Which will overflow into this troubled land.
my God said, peace, peace, be still, oh, peace, peace, be still. And it was still.
Hey, it's me again. It's our famous last tag ending. Didn't want to let you down, but I did have something that I needed to tell you. In this week's vlog, I spoke about God placing people in my life for me to encourage them. Well, next week, if you want to read more about those people, it'll be in that blog. Meet you at the blog.